That's what I'm talking about.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles. In the last episode we came here to the Ether Mine and we met Gado, who was kind of the colonel of the Colony 6 defense force. Nothing on Square Tash, but there we go. That's 2 ready coils. They might come in handy for rebuilding Colony 6. I don't know about all this stuff. This is more Shulk's thing. Well, that tells us something about a quest that might be upcoming. It's the classic Xenoblade thing of it's sneaky spoilers thrown in there, but they're not really spoilers because they're gameplay mechanics. Very clever, really. Anyway, when we head down here, I think there's a few more, collectibles that are normally lurking under this bridge, which I didn't get to properly. And our goal for now is just to head down here.
Hurry it up, slow coach.
What's wrong?
Jojo! Gado! This is for you!
What can it mean? This is for you. Is Juju already dead? Or is he going to be killed? Is that why Atharon... But then, what does that mean? If we keep moving, is Atharon really going to die?
No! What's wrong, Shulk?
This battle is for my people. If you can't handle it, drop that weapon and head home.
That's not it. It's just that...
Out with it!
Listen. Maybe we shouldn't just rush in head first.
What?
We got this far. I think we should observe them and plan our attack afterwards.
You insolent... We don't have that kind of time. You don't know a damn thing about these machines. I have observed their movements. I've planned this attack for a month. I know full well what's going to happen to my brothers and sisters.
It's just...
We're going! Fall in, medic!
Sir, what's got into you?
A vision again. Don't tell me another death.
Yeah.
I knew it. The Shulk I know doesn't just chicken out for any old reason.
This vision, was it like before?
Kind of. I saw an underground ether river. And Atharon.
Huh. An ether river. You know what? That sword lets you see the future. All that power, and you still keep getting it wrong.
Better to use my brain than my fists.
Shulk, I may rush in head first, but at least my head's useful for something.
Okay, I get the idea.
I ain't done yet. You're useless on your own, Shulk. That's why we're here.
Ryan,
Next time you have a vision, you tell us. We bear the burden together as a team. You have a vision you don't like, we'll change the future together. Got it?
Got it.
What was that? Say it like you mean it.
I got it, all right. Next time I'll tell you.
He's right, Shulk. You two saved Juju once before. I know we can do it again. I believe in you.
Thanks.
They're right. We'll change what happens. Anyway, I didn't see Juju and the others dying. There's still hope.
The classic narrative thing of... Turns out things are easier when people just, actually talk to each other, rather than just be like, well, I'm gonna bear this burden alone for a while. But it's nice to see Shulk's party slowly kind of warming up to that. Well, I mean, okay, Shulk is the problem, frankly. Ryan's been on board with the vision since what's it called, the Tephra Cave Arachno Queen, and Charlotte's been on board since the fight to save Juju. So, frankly, Frankly, it's Shulk that certainly is the problem. As you can see, the map is not terribly helpful here. I'd forgotten this was here. So this is the Dark Kissling. Yes, that's a weird name, but this is a unique monster. Unfortunately, because I just wandered in, A, we didn't get Battlestar Affinity, like tension burst thing, and B, Shulk was actually the target of their attention, which is absolutely never good. Ryan, if you could topple it, that would be great. Unfortunately, they're all involved, so... Oh, it bound Ryan. Oh, they bound me! That's much worse! So... We're miles away from a chain attack, but we're probably not going to get one here, and I just don't like the amount of aggro Shulk's got. Can anyone help out, please? Alright, let's see if we can break it. I mean, we're just going to kill this guy straight up, no doubt. There we go. And now we just get into fighting some drunk Vangs, apparently, so let's do that. Oh, Charlotte leveled up and learned an art. Let's grab that, and let's grab the treasure chest. I think we've already seen all of these things before, yeah. I think that calm shot is just a worse version of what Charlotte already has. Ooh, and some skill trees. Everything's happening! Exciting! Yeah, that's just a single slotted... Yeah, so a lot of weapons come in 0, 1, 2, and up to 3 slotted versions. So that's just worse than the calm shot we already have. Right, arts-wise, what did Charlotte just unlock? Oh, we got a load of stuff from arts books. Last episode... Oh, Covert Stance is mildly interesting, that you basically... It's an aura that reduces aggro and stops you from gaining aggro. Both of which can be kind of helpful. Maybe instead of Cure Bullet, because Cure Bullet ain't amazing. Let's put some levels into that. And let's just do some leveling up while we're here as well. The other guys... Actually, no one's got a huge amount... Oh, let's level up Buster, that'll be handy. Level 2 shield and speed of 5 now. I don't think we've even shown off Monado's speed yet, but we will, don't worry. Anyway, let's get some of these fire crystals while we're here. But yes, one of the things you'll absolutely notice is, unsurprisingly, Xenoblade Chronicles is an absolute fucking masterclass in foreshadowing, because they just use visions to play around with that so much, and boy do they. Over here in Test Pit 4, we have another unique monster up here, which is the Vengeful Dalton, who's a large Ooper. We'll let Ryan go and engage him while we prepare back here. Oh god, he's really run away over there, hasn't he? Cool, right. This guy should be a lot more straightforward, because we've actually got decent tension from the start with them. And tension makes such a difference to, like, everything. That's why we didn't really... Oh, we can daze him already, nice. Oh no, I was too slow for it. I think, yeah, I think I've misexplained days in the past as well, where I said it was that every attack on them is critical. That's not the case, but criticals are both more likely and do more damage, and also you can't miss them, and any defenses they have, and like buffs and whatnot, all clear off them. Anyway, Vengeful Dalton, as you can see, is an incredibly easy unique monster, so there we go. Well, I think there were some skills to look at as well, weren't they? Ooh, Bloody Roar, that sounds good. HP Steel, does that do what I think it does? Oh yeah, 12% probability that an auto attack will recover 50 HP, that's quite nice. Not as good as double attack though, because that's just great for Ryan keeping the aggro. Oh, now this is interesting if we want to put Ryan into full-on like heavy armor mode, because this is Emperor's Blade. It's got Spike on, which means whenever he's dealt damage, he also deals 60 damage back, which is pretty nice. And that would really give him... yeah, let's commit to heavy armor Ryan. He does well in that role, certainly. So who's learned skills? Shulk's learned heals the party slightly after chain attack, nice. Burst Affinity fills more of the party gauge, so that's really nice, actually. More, yeah, that's the one that's actually worth it. It'll take a while just to get there, because you need 2,000 coins, which is more than we've earned so far. But we can let him work on it for a while. What does Humanity do as well? Ether up? Yeah, not the best for Shulk, but there we go. Oh, and Charles got Physical Protect to everyone. It's like to just nullify half damage for the first 30 seconds of the battle when you get Battle Start Affinity. This is why Battle Start Affinity is so good. Everything's just good with it. Oh, healing arts and chain attacks can actually be really handy, as boosts physical defense up. Let's put it on Perseverance for now and just get some stuff in there. But that one as well is... Yeah, you know what, I'll go for that for now, because at least it's a handy thing. Charlotte may not be able to chain well, but if you just slap a healing art in, it can be really handy to just have a chance to actually heal. With that, I think we basically just want to head... I was going to say head down, but unfortunately, yes. As you can somewhat imagine, the ether mine be more than a little twisty. But I think it is this way we want to go, yes. So, welcome to the observation point, and welcome to the Central Pit. Shockingly, for Xenoblade Chronicles, this area is fucking massive, and that is our goal at the bottom, right down there, that green goo bit, is the bottom of the Central Pit. And so that's where we'll basically be heading onto over the course of the next however many episodes. Should be somewhere in the 2 region. But we can head down there. This is actually the right way to go, turns out, with this. So that opens the door into the Central Pit proper to us, so let's head over to that point. Ooh, an ice ether deposit, nice. Ooh, and another ice ether deposit over here. I'm not kidding, obviously, when I say there's ether crystals everywhere in the ether mine, as you'd expect it to be. Well, unless they've, mined it out, but it's a cool bit of an area in terms of how it starts off with all these really tight, windy tunnels, and then really opens up pretty swiftly after that. Let's head through to the Central Pit.
We're here. The Central Pit.
Where are they all? I don't see anyone.
We'll take that lift.
I'm ready to mash some mech on.
Yeah. Juju, Atharon, just hold on.
So, yes, welcome to the Central Pit. And I guess at this point, yeah, no, I'll save that for next episode. I'm going to rant a bit about this area. But for now, let's be positive at first, and then next episode I'll give you my own somewhat more negative thoughts on the ether mine as a whole. Not my favourite area. So these M64Xs are vision type enemies which will actually attack you. Basically everything else we're a bit overleveled for, but these guys will attack you anyway. So remember, it's the classic mech-on fighting thing that ensure that you use enchant with Shulk and keep your Monado cage relatively topped up, especially towards the end of fights, to make sure you've got it for your next fights. We'll also get quite a few cylinders from this area as well, so there's going to be a real smorgasbord of ether gem crafting to be done once we are back up on the surface. But yes, first off, that little kind of like blue thing that shows you where you are on the Bionis is the only indication the game gives, other than you working out for yourself, that we are absolutely going deep into the Bionis crotch here, basically. That above us is Colony 6, so we're directly kind of underneath it here, and as Charlotte was saying, Colony 6 arose from the ether mine, that the two are one and the same. Note, as I say, these blue ones will target me if they see me, but by and large, I'm not really going to fight them much because that's one of my problems with this area, is that constant combat against similar mech-on is not the best. But here we have something mildly interesting. We're actually doing what could almost be described as platforming. Because there's moving elements that we can move around, and that I've mentioned this before with the climbing and stuff like that, and we'll see more and more and more of it as the game goes on. It's one of the things that makes Xenoblade Chronicles genuinely unusual, if not unique among RPGs, is its attempt at, and quite good implementation by and large, of kind of platformy-like stuff. Because generally when some RPGs trying to include it, it ends up being, like, really clunky. The only other one I've seen do it well is the whole Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, but that is, like, a platformer, so you'd expect it a little bit more. That's specifically a platformer RPG. This is not. This is just your classic JRPG, but it has those platforming elements that do just make it very, very different and interesting. Anyway, this guy's actually wouldn't have started a fight with us, I realise, because he's not blue. But it feels a bit jebby to not, so I'm going to fight these guys. Fortunately, the game also kind of, if you fight a number of enemies of similar types there, it'll concentrate sometimes their chests into one. So you'll notice there that they, all of those mech-on we fought just dropped one single chest between all of them that had a couple of things in it. So that one was silver because it was the combination of a combination of a couple of wooden chests rather than only one of them happened to drop a chest, but it was silver. This guy is blue, so we'll attempt to take us on, and he's slightly bronzed, or he just hasn't loaded in properly. No, he is slightly bronzed. He's an M67. These are mildly more interesting. Oh, I need to remember to enchant every time.
You're not invincible.
Yeah, and it's infuriating to have to wait for the AI to do that for you, which is why I strongly recommend. Ow. That's what these guys can do, by the way. Drill screw is was it screw break, the thing that they do? Either way, they can. Oh, days! Yes, just got in there, and we got affinity for it. That's great. Cool, he's down, so let's just kill the rest. So you can kind of take a slightly more direct route than I'm doing, but I'm choosing to beat up monsters because I am going via basically every ether deposit I can set my eyes on, because it is really handy. Like, you will scarcely get a more impressive supply of ether crystals than you will from this. And at this point of the game, where we don't actually have access to a huge wealth of gems and crystals, it can be really handy. I also don't want to come down here any more than I strictly have to, so you'll notice, as ever, but even more than ever, that's a strange phrase, I'm going out of my way to try and get collectibles. And actually, I'll fill in these parts of it while I'm here, actually. Ooh, back attack plus. That's a very shulky gem. Bleed defense 3, useful. Like, defense gems like that are just very situational, I generally find, if you're struggling with this particular enemy. And nature gets us recovery up. So that, unlike auto heal, that's HP while being restored. So that actually can be quite useful. But yeah, we're getting to more of the kind of moving parts over here, which are mildly cool. I said I wasn't going to rant about this till the next episode, but now I'm like, well, now I can't think of anything to bloody say. So I guess I'm going to rant about the ether mine this episode. So I feel this is where the story kind of risks losing pace a little bit, because basically I was really interested in all the stuff with Bronze Face and stuff like that, and the whole cutscene with him was like, oh, I want to know what's going on here. And then you get to the ether mine, that's a bit of a slog. For me, it ends up being even more of a slog because I feel the game basically punishes you for not playing as Shulk. It makes it a lot harder that you just, if you play as Ryan or Charlie, you just need to wait at the beginning of every combat for the AI to hopefully use enchant, and the AI is in charge of managing its Monado gauge. So if the AI finishes this fight, say, with a Monado Buster, then you just gotta deal with that as you start the next fight, and it just takes as long as it takes, and that's... Ooh, Jewel Guarder. That sounds good. Ooh, interesting. Less good on that, but more on the slots. Ugh, but have I got some good gems? Maybe I have. I've got some aggro up ones, maybe. Yeah, let's go for this, and we'll put... what will we put on it? Attack plus and attack stability is a nice way of actually just bringing it up to a similar level to the one we had on it already. But then it's just the same as that previous one. I think in the long run, not quite worth it. It's better to have the phalanx. But yeah, so then you have to kind of do what the game essentially presents as a dungeon. Like, there's no denying that the functionality of this is as a big, long, winding path that you slowly work your way to the bottom of. It is absolutely a dungeon. And the game so far has avoided just these kind of like linear slog things. You've always felt, for me, like you are doing some exploration or something like that. And then the game kind of like takes that away from you, and it gives... Okay, granted, the ether mine is a physically very big area, but it's not got that level of like grand exploration we're used to so far. It's like just a slightly different tech for a cave, and it's got some moving elements, and it's kind of a bit interesting, but it's the fact that unless you just... So the game prioritizes exploration. That's definitely a thing that it does. It not prioritizes, but incentivizes it. It gets you to kind of do it. But there's... Oh, we've got an M67, is this? Yeah, M82. Oh. I think these things may... Okay, let's chain attack and take some of these guys out. Don't know where this guy came from, but there we go. Let's do something... Oh. Wait, who's last? I don't even know what my order of my party is. Oh, okay, what's Ryan? So, oh well. Oh, I haven't got enchant on. Balls. Metal Blast, sure. Oh, I'm back to Shulk, I guess. Well, I'll backslash this guy while we're in the chain attack, but then I need to enchant. Right, with that we might actually have a bit of a chance here, and I'll continue my ranting after we finish this fight. Well, that was a bit more tricky than I intended it to be, but only because, because I fucked up and forgot the Monado enchant wasn't on, so do ensure you pay attention. Oh! This is the third Love Crane. They should make Pepper happy. Who's Pepper? Guess we'll find out in the future. Let's take on these two Mechon as well. But I mean, that exactly kind of actually proves my point of we are at this point just constantly fighting very similar feeling enemies in the Mechon, which weakens the interest in it as well. We've got to the regulation piston here, which is a piston used for regulating things, not as I initially thought, a piston that conforms to regulation. So it's a lift going up and down, and we are going to, I think, hold it here for this episode. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you'll join us next episode where we will be going to the bottom of the ether mine into the central bit. Thank you very much, and good day.